Hey everybody, I got a little bit of info for you. Cheers. Coffee. From the villages to here, how far? How many gallons of gas? What was your fuel mileage towing the car? I can answer a lot of them. I can't answer all of them accurately. So let me explain a little bit. I got the how many gallons I got. I added up I got my fuel tickets over here. And I've also got an average of how much I paid for gas. I've got my gas miles per gallon coming here. Total miles driven coming here. And explanation has to be given to, especially the new people that don't really understand RVing as much as somebody that's been seasoned in an RV that understands what's going on. So let me explain a little bit to you guys that are interested in doing an RV and don't understand. I run my generator a lot when I'm traveling. It's just easier for me and Sue. I know a lot of people don't like that. You know, they say, well, you can get solar and this and that is an option. But basically, solar is for full-time RVers. And I can understand why they do that. I'm not a full-time RVer. I'm never going to be a full-time RVer because when I travel, we have medical issues. And so the idea of taking off for 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6 months or a year, 2 years at a time, it's not going to happen here. That's why I started this channel, because I know some people would like to travel in an RV or get one, but there are several reasons why they don't. And it seems like one of the main reasons that I hear by talking to these people is medical issues. They have to be home for this or that without getting into it. So this medical issues or prescriptions. And of course, everybody knows you can have your doctor have your prescription sent to about any Walgreens or any CVS, anywhere in the United States, really. So that shouldn't be an issue there. But medical issues in some cases are. We have medical issues. As most of you know, Sue has to be home every 6 weeks for treatments. And the treatments cannot be done by everybody. They can't be done by anybody. Most hospitals won't do it because the medical staff that performs her treatments, one, has to have a specific license depending on what the state requires. Every state is different. And in Florida, that license costs, I believe the doctor told us it was $100,000 to get that license. And he said there are not too many people need the type of treatment she needs that would justify a doctor to pay that kind of money for that license to do that. It's all about profit. Well, they finally opened up an infusion center that does many different types of infusions, not just the ones that Sue has to have. And so they've spent the money. And apparently it's worked out really well for them. And so we're really hesitant about changing anything because of that. But we still want to travel. I still love traveling in an RV. This is more me than Sue. I don't know if she likes it or not, really. She goes along with it probably because of me, but I think she enjoys some of it. But I just enjoy traveling this way. I always have. I never really added up the pros and the cons or anything. I know it can get expensive from time to time, especially when you have major breakdowns. But all in all, to me, it's just a great way to travel. It really is. So anyway, I run a generator a lot. When we are traveling and we pull in a rest area, even if it's in the daytime, if it's hot, I'm firing up the generator to turn on the air conditioner on the roof. If it's cold, I'm firing up the generators so we can make lunch or something like that, fire up the microwave. Sometimes I'll stop for a nap and we'll fire up the generator for one reason or another. I use a generator a lot. So on this trip, I just want to say, I used a generator, I'm guessing here, about a total of 24 hours. Since I've been to Wayne's up there and had a generator worked on, if you watch my videos, you know when that was. I used a generator to go home for about an hour, and that was about it. And then while it was in storage, I went over about every 2 weeks and I'd start it up and let it run for a half hour to an hour. And then I'd tinker around. So I don't know exactly how long I let this thing run. I'm not exactly sure how long it was in storage. So I'm guessing on those hours. But I can tell you right now, since I had it worked on and had the oil and everything changed in it, until today, I just checked it, I've got 63 hours on the generator since then. So that shows you that on the road, because most of the time this thing was in storage, is how much I used the generator. You got to change the oil. I think they recommend every 100 hours. So I'm getting close, and I'll probably go ahead and change it when I get home, even though I won't be at 100 hours, I don't think, but I'll be close enough to where I'll go ahead and change it anyway. But my generator is very important to me, mainly because, and this is one of the aspects I don't think most people are thinking about when they start talking about you can get solar to do this and that. Well, for me, it's a minimum $5,000 for solar. I've already been priced on this. It's $5,000 for solar to do what I want to do. That $5,000 buys one hell of a lot of gas. And for the difference in the gas mileage of running a generator and not running a generator, I'll be dead before I burn up that $5,000. So I'm not going to do that. And second is, it's Sue. She can't do a lot of the things that people seem to think we can do. And what we can do is, it is good. You can get these things done, but it's not easy for somebody that has medical issues and possibly no strength in their muscles to pick up, lay down, or any of that kind of stuff, to do these things. Where the generator, she can operate it. It's a poke of the button. That's all it really is. There's actually two buttons, but one of them we don't even hardly ever use. It's the prime button. You all know what that. You hit the prime button, you hold it until a red light comes on. That shoots gas in the carburetor and the generator. Then you hit the start button, and it makes it easier to start. Well, if it's been sitting for a while, that's probably true. But if you're using it on a regular basis, I find you don't need to do that. Or at least I don't. I just hit the power button and it starts up. So anyway, she can do that. She knows how to do that. But if we have to do solar where you got to flip this switch and flip that switch and a power inverter and all these things, I mean, it's just not going to work. And so we're not going to do it. Okay. Now, for the total miles from there to here, and this is an estimate, but I think I'm close enough, 1,112 miles. Now remember, I didn't get gas until I got north of Ocala at that petrol station. I don't know how many miles that was. I didn't pay no attention, but I guesstimated it. And then here, the last time I fueled up was north of Rockport. Not too far. It was actually on the outskirts of Rockport. How many miles is that? I don't know. And I don't want to go up there and turn the key on and look, truthfully. But I guesstimated it close enough. So we're at 1,112 miles. From the time I fueled up the first time till the time I fueled up here in Rockport, I took 151.895 gallons of gas. Now this fuel mileage isn't going to be right, because I'll tell you why. I have a full tank right now. I always fill up when I get here, because when I get ready to leave April the 1st, all I got to do is hook the car up and we're gone. I don't have to go looking for a gas station to fill up and all this and that. I'm ready to go. So this gas mileage is going to be way off because I've got a full tank of gas. But the average price of gas from there to here is $3.27.9 a gallon. Some higher, some lower. The cheapest gas I got was when I first got here. Cash price was $3.03. At the pump price was $3.09. It's not that anymore, but it was. But I averaged $3.27.9. The reason why I think that's kind of important is because I'm going to keep track of this on the way home. So in a month's time, you can see what the average pump price is from here to there. And we'll see how significant that is. So by that, my average gas mileage, miles per gallon, is 7.32, which is really not that accurate, like I said, because I have a full tank of gas. So anyway, that's the update here on how much gas we burnt, how much we bought, miles per gallon, how many miles we drove, and how much we paid per gallon on an average. So if any of you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer them. I'm not no RV guru, but I think that's what's going to make my channel different than a lot of channels. We're traveling with medical issues. I don't know if I made that clear when I started this channel. Almost everybody watches the full-time RVers. We all know who they are, right? I watch them. It's interesting. But what about the guy that has a home and he has to go home once in a while to mow the grass? Or he has to go home once in a while because his wife, like mine, needs some kind of a regular treatment. Those are questions that I think me and Sue can help you with. And we're doing it. We're traveling. We're seeing things. The last videos that we shot regularly, if you remember right, we took a 6 weeks trip, actually a little short of 6 weeks, but went out from California or Florida all the way to Southern California. We stayed on Linda's mountain, had a great time. Linda showed us around San Diego. It's the things that I probably would never have seen if it wasn't for her. And her and Roy let us go to the boatyard, which I would probably never have seen if it wasn't for them. And then from there, we went to Northern California, got on highway, what was it, 40, I think, for a while. Then I started having generator issues, and then that really kind of screwed everything. We were heading home at that point, but I didn't plan on jumping from one campground to another, and we were happening to take campgrounds because that's a touristy area out there in the summertime, and we were happening to take campgrounds that normally I wouldn't have went to, but I had to because I had no electricity to keep the air conditioner running. And when we were there, it was 120 degrees on an average every day. So until we got almost back down south on Highway 10, the weather was just too hot. So I had to go to campgrounds. So that kind of screwed the trip up. But see, that's another reason why my generator is important to me. So we're working on it. We'll get it figured out. And I can help you get it figured out if you have medical issues, if you're scared to travel because of that, or drive an RV because of medical issues. Let me just say, get out there. Do it. I don't know how old you are. It's none of my business. But if you don't do it now, then the question is when. Have fun. Get out on the road. Maybe I'll meet you somewhere. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the other side.